Many people assume an insurance policy is simply a long document they can set aside after signing, yet that view misses how the specific wording shapes what actually gets paid in a claim. On Coverage Clarified, we turn confusing insurance jargon into plain English. By the end of this video, you will know the main sections of a typical policy, how those sections work together, and the precise questions that help you compare options. This is general education, not financial or insurance advice. Everyone's situation is different, so the details that matter most can vary, and you should talk with a licensed agent or advisor before making decisions. One detail almost everyone overlooks when first looking at a policy is still ahead, and it often changes how people review their coverage choices. The declarations page, sometimes called the deck page, sits at the front and lists the named insured, the policy period, the covered property or person, and the main coverage limits. It shows the premium amount and any deductibles that apply. Reading this page first gives a quick summary of what the insurer has agreed to insure and for how much. A common mistake is to stop here and assume everything else in the policy matches the summary. In reality, the later pages can add or remove protection through exclusions or conditions. When you review your own declarations page, check that the names, addresses, and coverage limits match what you discussed with the agent. Ask how changing a limit on this page would affect the premium and whether any discounts are already included. The definitions section explains the exact meaning of words the policy uses repeatedly, such as occurrence, property damage, or insured. Insurers choose these meanings carefully, and they can differ from everyday usage. For example, one policy might define water damage narrowly while another uses a broader definition. Skipping the definitions is a frequent oversight because the words look familiar. Yet the way the policy defines them determines whether a claim is covered. When you read this section, note any terms that seem ordinary but receive a special definition. A useful question for a licensed agent is whether the definitions have changed from the previous policy and how those changes might affect future claims. The coverage sections describe what the policy protects against, and the exclusions list what it does not. Most policies are written so that something must first fit inside a coverage grant before an exclusion is even considered. A typical misunderstanding is believing that an exclusion automatically removes all protection. Sometimes the same loss can be addressed under a different coverage part. Reading both sections together shows the true scope. Look for exclusions that mention wear and tear, intentional acts, or certain types of water intrusion. Ask an agent to point out the 3 exclusions that most often affect claims for someone in your situation, and whether any optional coverage can fill those gaps. Conditions explain the duties you and the insurer must follow, such as giving prompt notice of a loss or cooperating with an investigation. Riders, also called endorsements, are added pages that change the standard policy, either by adding coverage or tightening it. A frequent confusion is assuming every policy has the same conditions. In practice, one carrier may require more documentation than another. When you review conditions, note deadlines for filing claims or requesting appraisals. For riders, check whether any were added automatically or whether you requested them. A practical question to ask is how a particular rider interacts with the exclusions already listed and whether it creates any new duties for you. One widespread mistake is treating the policy as a single unchanging document rather than a collection of parts that can override one another. Another is assuming the agent has already matched every exclusion to your needs. Policies are standardized forms with custom declarations and riders, so the combination is unique to each contract. Reading only the declarations or only the exclusions leaves gaps in understanding. It helps to read the document once for the big picture, and again while noting questions in the margins. Ask whether the insurer offers a plain language summary of the most common exclusions and whether sample claim scenarios are available for review. Before buying, prepare a short list of questions that focus on how the policy would respond in real situations. Ask which exclusions most often lead to denied claims for the type of coverage you are considering. Ask how the insurer calculates actual cash value versus replacement cost, and what documentation is required after a loss. Ask whether any conditions in the policy could delay or reduce payment if you fail to meet a deadline. Also ask how adding or removing a rider would change both the premium and the exclusions. These questions help surface differences between otherwise similar policies without focusing on price alone. Reading an insurance policy means examining the declarations page, the definitions, the coverage grants, the exclusions, the conditions, and any riders as one connected document. The key is noticing where later sections can narrow or expand what the declarations page first suggests. The single most important habit is to ask how each part would work together in a claim rather than accepting any one section in isolation. Before you buy, ask which exclusions apply most often, how conditions affect claim timing, and whether any rider meaningfully changes the protection. Subscribe to Coverage Clarified for more plain English guides that walk through everyday insurance mechanics. The plain English guides and any quote comparison links are gathered in the description. Remember, Coverage Clarified is general education, not financial or insurance advice. Everyone's situation is different. Prices and rules change and vary by state, so always talk to a licensed insurance agent or a qualified financial advisor, and check current details with an official source before making any decision.